let's welcome on board the CFO at Greenpanel Industries. We have Mr. Venkatramani joining in on the show right now. Mr. Venkatramani, great to have you on the show. Channel checks have been expecting and, indicating that there's a volume drop of about almost 10% on a sequential basis in both plywood as well as MDF. What explains that?
Actually not. The MDF industry is going quite well, and in spite of a substantial volume of imports coming into India, we'll possibly see some volume growth coming in Q4 as compared to Q4 last year or Q3 of the current year. Yes, there are some issues on the plywood side, but the MDF industry is going reasonably well.
So your earlier guidance is something that you're maintaining?
Yeah, absolutely.
International plywood prices have come down, and MDF ultimately is an extension of what is happening to the international plywood prices. So what will be the impact of that?
See, MDF has been taking away market share from plywood over the last decade to almost 2 decades now, and that process will continue to gain strength with ready-made furniture gaining volumes, and this industry is closely linked to the furniture industry. So as the furniture industry becomes more organized, automation increases in the furniture industry, we'll see a significant boost in volumes for MDF.
Realizations and the volumes that you've seen so far, and what is going to be your domestic and export mix in the VDF volume?
For Q4, I think it will be around 70-30. And for the next financial year, we are targeting a mix of 75% domestic and 25% exports.
Okay, fair enough. What is the outlook in terms of your capex plan? I understand it was slated for 600 crores, brownfield MDF expansion. Is that on schedule, and what are the rest of your, your capex plans down the line?
Yeah, it's still in very initial stages, because the dispatches from Europe will start around May, June of the current year. So I would expect it to be on schedule, start trial production in Q1 FY25 and commercial production in Q2 FY25, unless we see some unexpected delays from the manufacturer side.
So what you're confirming to us is that irrespective of what is happening to interest rates and the real estate market, there is no slowdown in the MDF market.
Absolutely correct.
Okay. Typically, when you go through a large inflationary cycle, what happens to margins when the inflation cycle reverses? Now, the good thing is that inflationary pressures are reducing. And when inflationary pressures were there, every plywood company increased their prices. So would you be cutting the prices, or would you be retaining some of it?
It would depend upon movement in raw material prices. At the moment, raw material prices are holding on quite strong. So I don't see any reduction in product prices happening either during the current year or the next year, unless we see a significant fall in raw material prices.
I really appreciate your time. So glad you could join us.